Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back for this week's this class. So inshallah we will start our first session. So today brother Akhtar is busy, so I have to do that part. So we are learning asmaul mushtaqah, the derived nouns. We are learning about derived nouns. Can somebody tell me what we have learned so far? Brother Azhar, can you tell us?
Like what was the starting?
Ismul Tafdeel.
Yeah, ismu tafdeel, superlative, like a bigger, and comparison, bigger than. And when we start with the al, then is the most.
And what else we learned?
We learned what this one.
Ismul Mubalagha.
Ismu mubalagha, like intensive case,
And what?
like kuffar,
Okay. And the third in derived noun, Ismu Sifa.
Ismu Sifa, yeah, Ismu Sifa as well, yes.
Okay. So let's take an example of alim. So can you tell us what is Ismul Mubalagha of alim?
Alam.
Alam. What is the Ismu Tafdeel?
Al-Alam.
A'lam.
Alam, yeah.
Alam.
Alam.
Superlative would be Al-A'lam.
Okay.
What is Ism Sifa?
Alim.
Alim. You know the maf'ul also? Alim.
Alim, there is no maf'ul, I think so.
There is no maf'ul. Alima ya'lamu alim ma'lum.
Ma'lum, okay. Ma'lum.
Is the maf'ul. Okay, thank you, Jazakallah khairan. Brother Asher, can you tell us what we have learned so far in derived nouns?
So we learn isme tafdeel, isme mubalagha, isme sifa, ismul zarf.
No, we haven't learned so far. Zarf is inshallah we will be learning today. No?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I say Hamid, what is the Ismul Maf'ul?
Mahmoud.
Mahmoud. And Mubalagha?
Mubalagha is Hamad.
Hamad. Ismul Tafdeel?
Ismul Tafdeel is Ahmad.
Ahmad. And Sifa?
Hamid.
Hamid. Very good. Thank you. Jazakallah khairan. Brother Riza, if I say Rahim.
Assalamu alaikum. Rahim. Okay, what do you want to know?
What is Maf'ul?
Marhum.
Marhum. And Mubalagha, Ismul Mubalagha?
Rahman.
Rahman. Tafdeel?
Arham.
Arham. If I have to, you have to say in superlative terms, what?
Al-Arham.
Al-Arham. And Ismu Sifa?
Rahim.
Rahim. Good. Thank you. Jazakallah khairan. Let's move on to our today's lesson. So today, inshallah, we are going to cover Ismu Zarf. Ismu Zarf is also a derived noun. Is one of the small mushtaqa. You know the Ismul Fa'il, Ismul Maf'ul, and Ismul Masdar. These are also a small mushtaqa. We don't cover this detail because we have already learned them no? in our TPI portions. So ismu zarf, this derived noun actually describes the time of action and place of action. When it describes the time of action, you can say it's called zarf zaman, and place of action is called zarf makan. So ism zarf has these both things, time as well as place in them. Like masjid. Okay, masjid is the place and time of prostration. Masjid. Similarly, mashriq, the place and time of sunrise is mashriq. So there are some patterns in which these fall. The important patterns of ism zarf is maf'alun or maf'alin. Maf'alun or maf'alin. So in the pattern of maf'alun, the words are maktabun, marqadun, maskanun, mash'arun, matla'un. Or you can say maktab, marqad, maskan, mash'ar, matla'. And the other pattern is maf'il, like masjid, majlis, manzil, marji', matli'. Okay. So these are the most important patterns of ism zarf. So these maf'al pattern, for example, maktab, kataba yaktubu, katib maktub, and maktab is ism zarf. Okay. So maf'al pattern is, for example, if you see level 1, all the chapters besides daraba and hasiba, these patterns can come. Maf'al pattern can be from other chapters. The maf'il pattern could be from daraba and hasiba, like jalasa yajlisu, majlis. Okay. If the mudari has zair in second kalima, then it would be in that pattern of il. So maktab, what is maktab? Brother Hamad, can you tell us about maktab? It is a place and time where you read. Okay. And marqad,
you write or read, brother.
read. Kataba. Kataba is he write? Yeah, he write. And marqad is the grave where you where body is laid down. Marqad. Maskan. Sakana, he stayed. Maskan, where you stay, time and place where you stay. Similarly, masjid, from sajada, where you prostrate, the time and place where you prostrate. Majlis, time and place where you sit. Okay, these are the patterns. Then maf'ala, this is the feminine, like maktab becomes maktaba. Okay, similarly madrasa, maqbara, matraba, masraba, these are the feminines of these. Another point is that in level 3, the maf'ul, ismul maf'ul of level 3 is also ism zarf. Okay, like adkhala yudkhilu idkhal, mudkhil mudkhal. Mudkhal is also ismul maf'ul, so it's also ism zarf. Similarly, akhraja yukhriju, ikhraj, mukhrij, mukhraj. Mukhraj is maf'ul, ismul maf'ul. So this can also be treated as ismul zarf, depending upon the situation in the sentence. Okay. And maf'il, its plural is maf'il. Its dual is maf'ilani. And its plural is mafa'ilu. Mafa'ilu. And maf'alun, its dual is maf'alani. Its plural is also mafa'ilu. Mafa'ilu. Not mafa'ilun. Mafa'ilu. And the feminine maf'ala, its dual is maf'alatani. Its plural is also mafa'ilu. Mafa'ilu. So the plurals are always in this pattern, mafa'ilu. Another point in ismu zarf is sometimes meme masdar, verbal nouns that start with meme also have the same pattern, like ismu zarf, like madkhalun, makamun, mi'adun. So we should also remember that the meme masdar verbal nouns that start with meme can also take the patterns of ismu zarf. Okay, any questions about ismu zarf before we go to examples?
Yeah, so both the time and the place has to be in this ismu zarf at the same time. For example, like a house. So, and there is no time, but there's a place in it.
Like maskan?
Yeah, maskan, yes.
Yeah, maskan, yeah, it can have a time element also in it, place also.
How time refer, let's if I just say maskan. So
how time?
Like, for example, my question is like we are talking about that the time of action and the place of action, yeah, both has to be at the same time to describe it as ismu zarf, or one of these two can also be to call it as ismu zarf?
Probably it depends upon the situation. Sometimes there is a possibility. I'm not sure. I cannot explain with the example. Brother Shahbaz, you can comment on this.
Well, first of all, the number 3 here, maf'alatun. It is used for zarf makan only. This third pattern.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, madrasatun, for example, place of study. It normally doesn't reflect the time of study.
Right.
Yeah. So the third one is only for zarf makan. Now the first two, they have both meaning in them. The time, for example, marji'un is the place of return or the time of return. But when you are using it in a sentence or in an ayah, Allah is using it, it may have only one meaning. It may be used only for one meaning, or it's possible that it is being used for both of its meanings, place and time. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure I have answered your question, but it could be used for zarf makan in a sentence, or just for use zarf zaman, or it could be used depending on how the sentence is for both zarf zaman and zarf makan. But the number 3 is only for zarf makan.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, let's take some examples. The first example is man ba'asana mim marqadina. So who is going to tell us? Brother Javed.
Bismillah. So man ba'asana mim marqadina. So in this one, the word marqadina is the one that we're looking for, zarf makan, zarf zaman. So marqad.
Marqad is grave.
Marqad is, So our graves.
Yeah, our grave.
So who appointed?
Raised us.
Okay, mom. Who raised us from our graves?
From our grave.
So Marketana is used only for the place will be rising up, or it also may have the time that will be raised up.
I think it also has a time element in it.
Time element too,
we
right?
also stayed there for some duration. No? So time element, I think, is also there. Okay, thank you. Jazakallahu khairan. Iqbal, brother Iqbal, can you do the next ayah? Walillahi al-mashriqu wal-maghrib.
وَلِلَّهِ الْمَشْرِقُ وَالْمَغْرِبُ. And for Allah is the time and place of sunrise and the time of or place of sunset.
Oh, sunset. Brother Mia Hamid. Maybe I can ask. Salamun hiya hatta matla'il fajr.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Which one is ismu zarf in this sentence? Which word is ismu zarf?
Matla al-fajr?
Matla. Yeah.
Only matla. Okay, matla. Salamun hiya hatta matla al-fajr. Peace be.
Just peace, peace. Here means?
Here. We.
She.
Oh, sorry.
Hatta.
Until.
Until. Okay. Until the morning.
Matla is, you can say, rise of Fajr.
Rise of the Fajr.
Time and place of rise of Fajr. Matla. Thank you. Jazakallahu khairan. Next ayah is Brother Hamad. قَدْ أَلِمَ كُلُّ أُنَاسٍ مَشْرَبَهُمْ. What is the ism zarf here?
Mash'ari.
Mashraba. Can you do the translation?
Oh, the second ayah or the third one?
Second.
Oh, second. قَدْ عَلِمَ كُلُّ أُنَاسٍ مَشْرَبَهُمْ. قَدْ indeed alima, he knew, kullu, every unasin, people, mashraba, their place of drink, mashraba, the place of drink, home,
time and place of drink.
Yeah, time and place of the drinking place, their drinking place.
Yeah.
So indeed, everyone knew, every person knew their place of drinking.
Place and time of?
Place and time of drinking.
Time of drinking. Thank you.
Drinking place, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Jazakallah khairan. Anusha, can you tell us what is the Masajid Allahi? In Masajid Allahi, what is ismu zarf?
Assalamu alaikum. Masjid Allahi, Masjida is ismu zarf.
It is not masjida, it is masajid.
Masajid, sir.
What is the singular of this?
Singular?
What masajida means?
Masajida means the place or time of concentration.
Yeah, yeah, it is plural, no?
The plural.
Plural of what?
A masjid.
Masjid. Plural is masajid. So masajid Allahi means?
The places or times of prostrations.
Places of?
Of prostrations of Allah.
Okay, yeah, good. Thank you, Jazakallah khairan. I think we can go to breakout rooms. Probably it's time is on. So we can do more practice in breakout rooms, inshallah. If you have no question, we can go to breakout rooms.